There, Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. This is your mid-November reading. Of course, energy is fluid. It may permeate a little before the 15th, a little after the 30th. Without further ado, now let's get right into it, Aries. I was meditating on your energy before I turned on the camera, and I was hearing predictive, and career emphasis, strongly so for you. And out popped, as I was meditating, a number of cards, the first of which is the Son of Pentacles, ramming its antlers into the Ace of Wands in reverse, the High Priestess in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse, the Five of Swords, two fives here in reverse, another ace, okay, mirroring this Ace of Wands, two aces sandwiching this stack, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Yes, all of these cards are in reverse, okay. There's a focus on the directionality, okay, and I'm hearing specifically predictive. What are the many points of finding our way through the cycle of creativity that not only capacitates creation, but reminds me of the theoretical direction that I understand my work takes me in. Okay, so there's this sort of boomerang of a reference here as it pertains to matters of developing a certain concept. Okay, I'm hearing of a business, and it's very exciting. I'm hearing at the threshold, and there are many options. Okay, many options for you, and I'm hearing Aquarius and Sagittarius at the very same time here. But it's a state of rumination. This Ten of Cups is very much of a focus card here, right? Nearly bent here. Ten of Cups, okay, with the Judgment card, beautiful here. Right overlaying the Ten of Cups. There has been, if there hasn't been, there will be a culmination of sorts. The focus for you here on reaching a point of constructive progress, measured progress, is on focusing on living, I'm hearing the cycle through. Whatever this cycle has been, of reaching the state of the desiring of this new beginning. Okay, the realization that, you know what, yes, this does it for us. Yes, this is what not only speaks to growth, transformation, and change, but to, yet again, what compels us to move through it, day in and day out. Yeah, I'm hearing, yes, this does it. So I'm hearing X marks the spot. There may be, and this was by way of a certain decision. Okay, that tested your ability to discern, okay, how it is that you deem matters of success, matters of growth, of financial stability. And here we go. Six of Pentacles in reverse in the deep past. The Father of Cups upright in the recent past. Strength upright in your current state. That's Leo's card in the Major Arcana. Two of Swords. Leo pulled the Strength card and the Two of Swords in succession. Not in the fashion that you do, in the positions that you do, but they pulled these two cards together in their hopes and or fears. Yes, hopes and or fears and final outcome. Nonetheless, okay. No. Okay. Very interesting the way that these cards are moving. You have a focus here on cycles of change and the test of resilience. I'm hearing in that vein. And just how much you want something determines just how fervently you pursue it, even if it requires of you the contemplation of perhaps so many assets, so many resources, so many modes and methods of communication, so many emails I'm getting. There's so much that goes into, behind the scenes, this otherwise upheld, I'm hearing persona for a number of you, the capacitator of this dream, the upholder, okay, of a certain vision. I'm getting that there is a certain resilience of character that is not readily apparent in a certain way, perhaps, to those around you. This process has been testing, Aries. Absolutely, I'm getting that very strongly. And it's been slow, okay, as well. I'm getting it's been slow. And it's required of you to take an approach that is inherently intuitive, that I'm getting as well intellectual, that requires of you to consider so many factors at once. And how, yet again, we consolidate those many thoughts and those many considerations in such a way that brings into form our vision of what we desire to bring into form in the third dimension, and why. And you're being compelled, I almost said Leo again. Okay, you're being compelled, Aries, to not overthink it, the conceptualization of it. I'm getting that you're in a certain state of embodiment. Okay, embodiment, almost like, it's like, I gotta go on stage, I gotta perform, I gotta show up. I'm hearing, I gotta pay my dues in a certain way. And that can be meant in a number of ways, right? Take it as you will. But the understanding in a clear-headed way, I'm hearing, take it as you will, again, of how I've gotten to this point is not really my concern. And I understand that the process that's brought me here is yet again intuitive, is yet again spiritual, is emotional, and that process holds no state of comparison to the level of understanding that is capacitated by way of the intellectual mind. And even if you feel like compelled, Aries, even if you feel like there's a certain state of expectation, how did you get to this point, you're being beckoned to honor the system of growth that has characterized this journey for you in its authenticity. Okay, and you have the Mother of Swords here in reverse in your near future, right beneath this Nine of Swords in reverse, right angling up into the Nine of Cups, okay, at the apex of your reading, right above the Four of Pentacles, the 9, the 10, sandwiching the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, sandwiching those 4 of Pentacles upright. With the 2 of Swords, right at the base. So you have this triangulation of analysis almost, okay, sort of analysis paralysis of what is otherwise a matter of dreaming, a matter of living, of feeling, and intuiting. For a strong number of you, I am getting that. There is a certain idealization of a dream, of perhaps a career, of a state of affairs that surface by way of the channeling of our dreams, by way of the channeling of our feelings, the emotion, I'm hearing the exalted state of feeling, our capacity to feel through our work. And that is, I'm hearing, that's the prime time. That it's in those moments of heightened awareness of the emotional state, the emotional experience of it all, that feeds the manifestation of this dream in a conceptual way, in a constructive way, and perhaps even I'm getting a figurative way. Okay, and there may be an individual here who prompts you, who stirs your imagination, who feeds your recollection, okay, indirectly. Someone with a lot of water in their chart, Mother of Cups, okay. And you can take a look at this card here. Of what it is that you desire to bring into manifestation. And it's a supportive energy. I am getting that. It's a supportive energy. I'm hearing through thick and thin. Okay, so take it as you will. There's a certain boundary that you're surpassing within the industry, perhaps, that you're working in, with the concept that you're working with. And if that is so, if that resonates with you, Aries, this individual, be it your own propensity, okay, especially if you've got a lot of water in your chart, your intuitive perception of you is the gateway to understanding, sifting through what is an ideology and what is an embodied state of awareness of how I live when I'm living in the moment of complete acceptance of my dreams. And intuition here is a tremendous focus, absolutely. But we've got at the same time, and not necessarily a but simultaneously, right, just as much as there is this focus on the emotionalism of whatever this process is, of creation, of manifestation, there's inherently a side to it that reminds you of the constructive nature of your work. That has to do with the finances, okay, the paying of the bills, the material, tangible sort of effect of your work as well, okay, is a focus point. And this dance, Aries, that's danced here is a matter of how much we can rationalize and how much we rationalize our way through this creating of this framework. I'm getting it as like a foundation, the laying of a certain foundation that's financial, that's monetary, that's strategic, and how much how in line our faculties, our strategic faculties, our certain assessments, I'm hearing. Excuse me, Aries. Are aligned with and abide by the dream state. And so there's this polarization a bit. There's this dichotomy of resources, the means of channeling the resources as well. And you realize that you're working with these two propensities and how they play nicely together, how that relationship is upheld in an authentic way to uphold the state of transformation of emotional cycles. And I'm getting specifically desire to fulfill dreams, to not only dream them, to desire them, to feel them in this exalted state, but to feel them move from states that are energetic through themselves. So desiring the transformation of the work that you do, what charges that? And what factors come into play there? Okay, there is a focus, though, on the intellectualization of the process. And there comes a point where you realize that the thoughts cannot substitute the emotional barometer, the intuitive barometer especially. And the emotional side plays just as much of a part, if not slightly more, than that which speaks to how we represent in a strategic way. I'm hearing it again, faculties, the sentimentalism of the nature of what we're working with. And you realize I can't take a cut and dry approach in a certain way. Inherently what I'm working with is emotional, speaks to the many layers of me. And to honor that, okay, the process of delivery, of transmutation, of translation must similarly follow code. I'm hearing follow code, follow suit. Must similarly take on a certain subtlety with it. Okay, and you have a focus here on progress that, yet again, honors the emotional landscape. How is it that I feel prior to defining how it is that I think about how I feel? And your desire, okay, is to remain in a state of processing how you find your means of defining your process of reaching this dream. And so it is a process, Aries. It's a process, and it's you, yourself, and you sort of energy that I'm getting. It's the kind of feeling you, but on the surface, okay, there is this image, okay, that's being upheld that speaks to constructive sort of energy, productive sort of energy. Even if there is a question I'm hearing of the ley lines of how, I'm hearing information is disseminated. I'm hearing the grandfather figure. Now, there's been a certain premonition with the way that things would transpire. You may have had a vision, you may have had a dream, and whatever it is that you've been working towards has followed in line with, in a certain way, in a specific way, a certain specific way, the expected course, okay, of events. And the finalization in a material, tangible way has a certain shock value, as much as you may have expected it, compels you to it's not shocking per se, but it compels you to remember that your perception is everything, is the point at which you move through the threshold of creation, of the vision of creation, of the perception of your role as a creator. The focus is so greatly on how you perceive and have perceived in the past, and it's a reflective moment for you, Aries. And I'm hearing Pisces for you, and the Hanged Man here is mirroring the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is Pisces' card in the Major Arcana in reverse, to which point the Hanged Man is standing straight up in its grave. You may be working with a Pisces, you may be dealing with a Pisces, someone with a lot of Pisces in their chart, moon, rising, ascendant, or strong Neptune, strong 12th house, so on and so forth. I'm getting there has been a partnership in this, okay, in a certain way, perhaps for a number of you. I'm getting that perhaps with two individuals, perhaps with an individual who plays two roles, okay, in the partnership. This may be a crossover between finances, career, and emotional matters, okay. You've got the Lovers at the base of this stack. There has been a question of how does this partnership how does the prospect even perhaps of a partnership, how does the concept of love interplay with the vision that I hold for what it is that I desire to create, that I understand is coming into fruition? And the partnership, if there has been a partnership involved, has played a fundamental role, has been a sort of testing ground, I'm hearing, an experiential, experimental, I'm hearing ground for discovering what compels us, what drives us to continue working towards what it is that we understand is working to find us in physical form, in the third dimension. And the collaborative nature to this process has played a fundamental role, okay? I am getting that strongly. You have Six of Cups as well, right beneath the Seven of Cups, 6, 7, right in succession, right next to the Seven of Swords. There has been a focus on identifying very clearly what we've felt the place of this partnership would be. And there's a confrontation with this in a way that is clarifying. Okay, is clarifying, is, I'm hearing homecoming, I'm hearing idealized. And it's something that you've expected, okay, Aries, it's something that you have absolutely expected, okay, so very exciting here. Transformations abound for the mid part of November. Enjoy, Aries, and happy Thanksgiving to those of you who do celebrate. And thank you so much again for your dear support during this mid-November reading. I highly appreciate it. Love and light to you all on this journey forward. And I highly recommend as well for you to check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign, as oftentimes those may provide you with further insights into your situation. For example, I know that I resonate a lot with my moon sign, which is Sagittarius. I also resonate here and there with my rising, ascendant sign, which is Scorpio. And I resonate, of course, with my sun here and there, Pisces, okay. Otherwise, Venus may play a role in regards to matters of finances, specifically relationships, partnerships, and hobbies, okay. I'm hearing for a number of you in particular, work life and home life, okay. Nonetheless, if you don't know your signs, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide and compute them that way. Just note though that you need your quasi-exact birth time to get your rising ascendant sign, as it changes frequently. But you could get your moon sign most likely without an exact birth time, unless you were born on a day where the moon sign was changing, just on the cusp. So play around with it if you don't know your signs yet, okay, and see what you get. Otherwise, thank you so much again for tuning in. Love and light to you all, and I'll be back soon with your early December readings. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.